Hi guys, welcome back. Okay, so today I'm going to be doing a 90s tag, and I was tagged by my good mate Alex Bluetonic78. Been good friends with Alex for about 10 years or so now, I think it is. So we developed a really good friendship, so thank you very much Alex, appreciate the tag mate. I know he did it because he wanted me to make a video, which was quite funny watching his video, and he said that because I ended up putting a video up yesterday anyway and surprised him. So yeah, if you don't know Alex, of course, which I'd be surprised if you don't, but if you're new to the community and you don't know Alex, check out my description for this video. There's a link down below to his channel. Really nice guy, great channel, makes a lot of good content. Right, okay, so this one's an interesting tag. So, a bit of context. I think like some of the people I've been watching as well, we're of a certain age, and so the 90s, some of these questions can be quite tough, because if you go 80s, it's dead easy, like Alex said, because we're all children, whereas in the 90s we were teenagers, and when you become a teenager, especially in the United Kingdom anyway, alcohol and partying becomes a big deal. So at least it did where I came from anyway. So yeah, some of these questions I had to really give a lot of thought to, like the first question. And the first question is, what is your favourite cartoon from the 1990s? Now this was really tough for me because as I say, I was a teenager, so cartoons were really when I was a kid. Now, like Alex said, if you ask me about the 80s, and I can knock out all kinds of different cartoons, amazing, shows that I loved. There was tons of them, like the He-Mans and the Transformers and the Thundercats and Centurions and whatnot. But when it comes to the 90s, it's quite tough. And the only one I could really think of, because as I say, especially as the 90s progressed and I got older, I was out drinking and partying all the time, so I didn't really watch cartoons as such. And the only one that came to mind was The Simpsons, and I thought, well, that's a pretty generic answer, isn't it? But really, that's probably the only one I can remember. So I went online and did a bit of googling for 90s cartoons, get some background, some ideas, and I thought of one before I did the Google, and I thought, well, if that came out in the 90s, I wasn't sure if it was the 90s or the 2000s. And as it happened, it came out in 1999, so it does count. And that is Family Guy, so it's got to be Family Guy for me. I absolutely love that show, especially the early seasons as well, because obviously it was new and fresh, and it was so funny. From the baby Stewie, who's got this weird English accent and can talk, and people know what's going on with him, and you've got the dog walking around that can talk, and it's like, and you've got Meg, who's a bit weird, and you've got Peter, who's just off his head, and you've got Quagmire, who's just absolutely amazing. And it's such it was anyway, it was such an edgy show. I absolutely love that show. And that's about all I can think of really for the 90s. So I went with Family Guy. Next one was Sega Nintendo. I think that's pretty obvious. No, I did play both. I mean, back in the 80s, I had friends who had a Master System, so I got to play a bit of Master System. I had one friend who got an NES really late. It might have even been in the early 90s. I'm not entirely certain when he got it. So I did play like Mega Man 2, Mario 2 and Mario 3. But realistically, like Alex said, when you say Sega Nintendo, it's really about the 16-bit era. So it's, it's Super Nintendo versus Mega Drive. And as you know, I love the SNES. So I had a Mega Drive very, very briefly. I did play on my friend's Mega Drive as well. But the SNES was just, as soon as I played Super Mario World at my mate's house, that was it, game over. I wanted the SNES, and I was absolutely blown away by it, and the amount of great games that come out of that system, so it has to be Nintendo all the way. Favourite console game? Now this was a tough one, because if you think about it, the 90s, as I say, I had a Mega Drive, I had a SNES, I had an N64 briefly, I had a PS1, I had a Dreamcast. So to try and pick one game out of all of those systems is really, really tough. So I had a good think about it, and I thought, what is the one game that even today in 2020, I always default back to because I love it so much? And the one game from the 90s that I default to is Super Castlevania 4. Now I would have thought it would have been Street Fighter 2 Turbo, because like Alex said, Street Fighter 2 was like the game at the time. It was such a massive impact that it had on the home gaming scene. Being able to see close to arcade perfect on a console was phenomenal. Especially the SNES version is incredible. But Super Castlevania 4 is just one of those games that's always stuck with me, even to this day right now. I've got the emulators on my Wii, and I always seem to go and play Castlevania 4 before I play anything else. I just love everything about that game. I love the level design, I love the music, the soundtrack's incredible. And the graphics get better and better each level as you get further into the game. And I also love the whipping, and the thing is, Castlevania 4 was the first Castlevania I ever played. So I always assumed that you could multi-whip in any direction. Of course, as I got older and started collecting, I got a NES and I played Castlevania 1, 2 and 3 and found out that wasn't the case, and I was like, what the hell? And I played Dracula X, I was like, this is just so antiquated, it's really frustrating. You can only whip directly in front of you. Whereas with Castlevania 4 you can do diagonal whips, you can jump and whip down and diagonal and take out enemies, and it's so versatile, and you can hold the button down and the whip goes limp and you can spin it around. There's so much that you can do in Castlevania 4, so many options, which to me elevates it above all the other Castlevania games. So yeah, Castlevania 4 without doubt. Favourite comic? Now, like Alex, I didn't read comics in the 90s, I was an 80s comic guy. Like most British kids, I was reading the Beano, reading the Dandy. I used to get the Beano annual at Christmas. But in the 90s, I didn't read comics. I'd say in 1990 I turned 13, and as the 90s progressed, I was really just all about playing video games, going out with my mates and getting drunk. So, you know, I didn't watch like tons of like TV, I didn't watch cartoons really, as I say. Simpsons and Family Guy really the only ones that stand out. And comic books, I just didn't read them. So really I'd have to answer this with a magazine like Alex did, because that's really what I was reading. And the main magazine I was reading was Nintendo Magazine System, which was incredible. I used to just love, like a lot of people who love that magazine, I love the little cartoon versions of Julian Mignall and the crew. I thought it was really cool. I like the fact that there's a bit ballsy in that. They didn't really hold back with the reviews, and they weren't afraid to take the piss out of the kids who wrote the letters in, which I thought was really good. Things you couldn't do nowadays, but it was all done in fun and none of it was taken seriously. I love that magazine. It's great. I'd love to one day get a load of those back, but the price of money you pay these days, no. Favourite pro wrestler? Now, again, like Alex and a few others, wrestling for me, I was a 1980s thing. You know, I was into the WWF, you know, the Ultimate Warrior, $1 Million Man, Legion of Doom, Jake the Snake Roberts, Jimmy Superfly Snooker, all those kind of guys, you know, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Oh! I mean, you don't get better than that. But for me, the ultimate was Hulk Hogan. I absolutely loved the Hulkster, and I was a Hulkamaniac. And I still have this vivid memory of one year, I don't know what year it was, but I just remember staying up. And I'm pretty certain it was the Royal Rumble. Yeah, it was the Royal Rumble. I remember watching it and Hogan getting his arse handed to him. And then he did the Hogan thing where he just stands up and he gets that wild-eyed look in his eye, obviously. And he tears off the shirt and he's just like, oh! And he just starts throwing dudes out of the ring, and it's just, I just love it, man. The old WWF was the best. Yeah, I absolutely loved that. I never got to see all the Steve Austins and The Rock and all that, because I started watching it as I was getting older, but back then you had so many great wrestlers and it was just so much fun, and it didn't matter that it wasn't real. It probably doesn't matter to kids these days, it's just fun and entertaining. Next one is favourite song / a music video. This was really tough. I had to give this a lot of thought, because the 90s spanned such a range of music. Like at the early 90s I was listening to rave music. Then I got 1992, I got borrowed my mate's copy of Doggy Style by Snoop Dogg, and I got into the whole West Coast hip hop scene with a bit of East Coast. Then I was also listening to a shitload of American R&B. Meanwhile, there was the Britpop music that I was hearing, because my friend Steve got into Britpop heavily. He jumped out of hip hop and got into that. And so I listened to a lot of like Cast, Oasis, Cooler Shaker, Blue Tones, and a few other bands he was into at the time. And then there was also like the pop music, and like the Spice Girls went and Take That, and like Spice Girls were huge. I loved the Spice Girls. And there was all like the cheesy pop, you know, things like Wigfield and really cool little songs. And you know, when I got to the end of the 90s was when I got into like American pop, and I started to go into metal. So it's a broad range, and to try and pick one song, I was going to pick one song and one video from different artists, but then when I really thought about it, what's the one song and video that really stands out from the 90s for me? It's Britney Spears' Baby One More Time, without doubt. I love that song. For all the music that I listened to in the 90s, in 1999 I believe it was, when I heard that song on Real Player, I was absolutely blown away. I thought it was incredible. And when I saw the video, I was like, wow, you know, Brit, like, yeah, she's really hot. And it was a really cool video as well, it really matched well. And I think his name was Philip Dick, I'm not sure, who did the first video. He did Baby One More Time, Crazy, and Sometimes, if I remember correctly. Okay guys, so made a mistake. Obviously I was thinking of Philip K. Dick, the author. The director of Baby One More Time was actually Nigel Dick, who I was right, did in fact also direct Sometimes, and also You Drive Me Crazy. And apparently he also directed Oops, I Did It Again, which I wasn't aware of, so there you go. Anyway, back to the video. I'm not entirely certain of that. I'm pretty sure he did Baby One More Time and he did Crazy anyway. Yeah, but he was really cool, did a great job on the videos. So yeah, Baby One More Time would have to be my choice, I think. And it made me a massive Britney fan, which I still am today. Favourite live action TV show and episode. Now I can't pick a particular episode because I'm not someone who really pays attention to individual episodes and has one that stands out. And I had to really think about it. So to say, when I think about the 90s, like Alex picked Quantum Leap, great show. The 90s for me would be like Friends. I mean, that's like the biggest show of all that really stands out, and you know, I watched that to death like most people did. And of course we had the X-Files as well, and a lot of British TV, which was really good. But when I really thought about it, the one show that really stood out for me was a show that even now, when I'm flicking through the TV, I will still stop and watch an episode of, and that is Sex and the City. Now this is really weird because I believe it came out in the late 90s. So I was, you know, when was I 20? I was 20 in 1997. I think it was either around that time or a bit after that. I can't remember, I did check it yesterday, I've forgotten. So yeah, I was like entering my 20s and I'm watching a show about 4 30-something women talking about their careers and sex lives, and I'm like, what have I got to relate to this? Nothing at all. But I think it's really just a friendship dynamic between the 4 of them, and I've just really found the show quite entertaining. It was really funny, and I still like it now to this day. As I say, I'll still stop and watch the odd episode. And my favourite character was Charlotte, by the way, if you're at all interested, because she's really fit, the actress that played her. But I just like the character as well. I thought she was quite cute and ditzy, and yeah, great show. So there you go, those are my choices. And there's a sort of magpie just walked past. I just thought, what's that at the corner of my eye? There's a magpie just wandering around the flowers, just having a look. Oh, and he's off. Anyway. Okay, so who am I going to tag? So I think the first person I'm going to tag will be Ben Shenmuse, because I'm pretty certain Ben's not done this yet. So yeah, I'll tag Ben because Ben's a really nice guy and I've been getting on really well with Ben, and definitely got a great channel as well, worth recommend checking him out. I'll put a link down below for that as well, for Ben's channel. And the other person I'm going to tag, who can we tag? I'll tag DjxYEAHxLEMONS. I can't remember if he's been tagged or not. If you have, Jay, then fair enough. But yeah, that makes logical sense. So I'll tag Ben Shenmuse and I'll tag DjxYEAHxLEMONS, both great channels. And say, check out the description of this video, guys. Check out Alex's channel, Ben's channel, and Jay's channel. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed my answers. It's been an interesting tag to do. So thank you, Alex, for tagging me. And yeah, guys, leave your comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video.